Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel where today I have for you a gentle, stretchy, flowy morning sequence. I'm calling it morning, but obviously you can do it at any time of the day. This is suitable if you are a beginner or if, like me, you have back problems and you feel a little bit creaky, you're not moving in the way that you previously have moved. This is suitable for you as well. Now, for this practice this morning, I'm actually sitting on a yoga block. You can also have a cushion or maybe a rolled up blanket. This just has the effect of lifting your hips a little bit so your knees are below your hip line. It makes sitting a little bit more comfortable. And we are going to begin this practice sitting down on our mat today. If, as I always say, if cross-legged isn't the position for you, then please find any comfortable position that works for you. And that goes for all of the postures that we're going to run through in today's short sequence. So I will, as we go along, offer little alternatives if there's something that I think that, some people might not be able to work towards. But obviously, listen to your body. You are the expert on you, and I'm just here to offer a little bit of advice and guidance. So find your comfortable seat. As always, we are just going to start our practice focusing on our breathing to settle our mind, our body into this space today, whatever time of day this is for you. So if we just rest our hands either in the lap or on the knees, take a breath in through the nose. Maybe let's take that first exhale out through the mouth, before sealing the lips and just drawing that breath smoothly in and out through the nose, feeling the expansion of the belly as we breathe in, the relaxation of the body as we breathe out. Sometimes it's useful to close the eyes as well, just to allow your focus to draw inward, not be distracted by anything in your line of sight. And we're just going to take maybe 3 or 4 calming, settling breaths here, just feeling those shoulders begin to remove themselves a little bit of a distance away from the ears, maybe giving them a little bit of a shrug as well. Just enjoying this time to focus on you, noticing any sensations that might be arising within your mind and your body as you just sit here, trying not to let that mind wander to any other tasks that might need attending to during your day, just being present in this moment if you can. So on our next inhale, we're just going to bring the arms out to the side and then lift them up towards the ceiling. Keep the shoulders soft as we extend through the fingertips. Touch our palms together and draw them down towards the heart. At the same time, just tucking the chin to the chest, feeling a stretch down the back of the neck and into the top part of the spine here. As we lift the gaze, so we draw the arms out once more. Out and up on the inhale, touch together and draw down on the exhale. Just letting that chin fall towards the chest. As we take the hands once more out to the side, let's let the ear drop towards the shoulder here. Doesn't matter which side because we're going to do both. Unless, of course, you're Van Gogh and only have one ear. Come back to center and then just drop the ear towards the other shoulder. So whereas we had that lengthening down the back, so we're lengthening down the sides of the neck here. Coming back to center, maybe making a few circles. So taking the ear to the shoulder, lifting the gaze to the ceiling, dropping the other ear, and then coming forward. Slow, controlled movements, taking a few circles one way and then a few in the opposite direction. Bringing some mobilization into the neck and being very aware of keeping your shoulders dropped. These shoulders do have a tendency to work their way up to the ears at many points during the day, and we want to try, at least in this moment, to keep everything soft and fluid. Okay, so let's come back to center. If you are like me, sat on a block or a cushion, let's just take that, pop it over to one side and bring yourself over onto all fours. Stacking wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and the gaze is down to the mat, so we have that length through the spine here. To begin with, we're just going to move our spine through cat-cow, so continuing that mobilization from the neck down through the back body. As we exhale, we take the spine to the ceiling, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. As we inhale, rippling the movement from the base of the spine as we lift the tailbone, curl through the back, let the belly sink to the floor and draw those shoulders back and down. Again, slow, focused movements. Let your breath guide the movement rather than just, moving yourself quite quickly here. Maybe even taking the hips from side to side, even taking bottom back towards the heels in a modified child's pose, just moving your spine through some postures that works for you, just to ease yourself into this practice today. From here, we're going to take our right foot out behind us, stretch through the back of the leg, push the heel away, lovely stretch down the back of the calf here, pull that belly in. Again, we're keeping the spine long, and then see if we can just take that leg up to not even hip height. We can just raise it a couple of inches off the floor, push the leg away, and then if you feel okay in your balance and your core, we can extend the left arm in front of you, finding that long line from the tips of the fingers on that left hand all the way to the heel on that right foot. Returning hand and knee back to the earth here, taking the left foot out behind us, push the heel away. Take a moment here to enjoy that stretch down through the calf, taking that left foot off the mat. So we're trying to keep the hips level, not hoiking the hip up towards the ceiling, staying strong through the center, lengthening out through that right arm, tips of the fingers, straight line down towards the heel on that left foot. Before returning hand and knee back towards the floor here. From here, just tuck your toes underneath you, push yourself back so you're sat on your heels, and then turn to face the long edge of your mat. We're going to take our left leg out to the side now, reaching our arms up to shoulder height, coming into a pose called gate pose. Allow that left hand just to drop down the left leg as you reach the right arm up and come into, oh gosh, did you hear something crack then? Just coming into a slight bend towards that left leg, keeping our right shoulder back. So very much a side bend. We don't want to bring that shoulder forward here. Inhale, we come all the way back. And then from here, if we can, we're going to take our right hand onto the floor. You can pop it on a block if you want to, and lift that left leg up. Left arm reaches up this time as we draw it overhead, hugging that bicep to the ear. So a very similar pose to the previous one, just on the side of the body now. And as we inhale, using that momentum to draw us all the way back to center, and we're just going to swap the legs over. So this time extending our right leg out to the side, lifting our arms up into this sort of warrior two position here, relaxing those shoulders. And then dropping that right hand down, extending up with the left and taking it over. Such a nice stretch down the side of the body here. All the while, see if we can allow that breath to flow quite smoothly. Coming back to center, taking our left hand to the floor, reaching that right arm up, reaching the right leg up, drawing the arm overhead here. Pushing that foot away as though you're trying to push it against a wall behind you. And using your inhale to draw you all the way back up, Coming back onto the knees, turning yourself round one more time as we come back onto all fours, tucking our toes underneath us, and then just lifting the knees about 6 inches off the floor, pulling your belly in, so squeezing tight through your abdominals. See if we can hold it here for 3, for 2, and on 1, continue to lift the hips up and backwards, moving the feet around if you need to find your downward facing dog. Let that head feel heavy here. Maybe you can give it a little bit of a shake or a nod, releasing any tension out of that head, that neck. And as you bend one knee, so you lower the opposite heel to the floor, just working into the back of the legs here. Lovely, lovely. From our downward facing dog, we're going to shift our body forward into a plank. Drop the knees to the earth, give those shoulders a shrug as we lower the chest and the chin to the floor. Elbows come behind us, so very controlled movement. And we inhale, coming into our low cobra. Remember, if low cobra isn't working for you, we can just draw the elbows underneath the shoulders as we come into Sphinx pose. So whatever feels right for you this morning, today in this practice, from our cobra or Sphinx, push back up into plank, back into downward facing dog. Drop the knees to the floor and just push your bottom towards your heels in a little child's pose. Keeping those toes tucked so that you're ready to come forward once more, onto all fours. Lift those knees about 6 inches off the floor. See if we can hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Lift it up and back. Downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, shift that weight forwards into plank. Drop the knees back to the earth. Elbows come behind us as we lower the chest down, the chin down. Inhale into that cobra. Exhale, plank. Back into our downward facing dog. From our downward facing dog, we're just going to walk our feet towards the top of the mat. Maybe take the feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Keep quite a deep bend in the knee. Lift that chest, and you can use your hands on your legs if you need to push yourself up to a standing position at the top of your mat. Bringing your feet a little bit closer now, maybe under the hips. Roll those shoulders back and down as we take a moment in our mountain pose. Just to resettle our breathing, resettle our focus. Just taking a couple of breaths in through the nose and out through the nose here. Let's bring the weight into our right foot and lift our left knee as we take our hands to the heart. From here, taking our left foot behind us, finding that balance as we come into a high lunge position, opening our arms into this goddess arm position to open out through the chest, squeeze those shoulders together here, releasing any tension through the back of the body. From our high lunge, we move to our warrior two, moving our feet into a position that works for you. So the body remains upright, the knee is out towards the small toe here. Begin to straighten that right leg now, maybe even heel toeing your back foot in as we extend and lengthen through the body, and as we exhale, just rotating over with the arms, reaching our left arm up and our right hand towards the floor. You can even take this top hand behind the back if you want to, if you find that more comfortable. I know I do. And also just notice how your neck feels. If it feels too uncomfortable to look up, then either keep your gaze forward or even down to the earth here. Bending into our right knee now, we push ourselves back up to standing, turning all 10 toes to face the front of the mat, reaching the arms out to our shoulder height here as we roll the shoulders back and down. And as we inhale, just lifting the arms up, and exhale, lowering them back down. One more time, lifting up, keeping the shoulders soft as we extend through the fingertips here. exhale, take it back down. Drop the hands onto the hips. You can jump your feet together, or you can do a natty little heel-toe combination to get your feet together and work your way to the top of your mat. As we bring the weight into our left foot now, so we lift our right knee, hands to heart, step it back into that high lunge. Balance, really, I need to work on balance. Next video, balance. Open the arms out once more into that goddess arm position. And then as we exhale, so we turn to our warrior two. Left knee out towards the small toe, arms roughly the same height at shoulder height. Before straightening that front leg, lengthening forward just with your body. Imagine you are being lifted with these ribs here as we exhale, taking it over into our triangle, maybe even wrapping that top arm behind us. One side of the body always feels different. My neck feels fine on this side, bit stiff on the other side. Very bizarre. Bend into that left knee, bring yourself up to standing, and this time we're just going to step right foot to meet left at the top of our mat. From mountain pose once more, we're going to step this left foot back and return to that wide leg position with all 10 toes facing the long edge of your mat. So we're going to come into a forward fold now. Be very mindful of how your back is feeling in this. You can have a bend in the knees. You can even turn the toes out a little bit if that feels better for you. Or even use some yoga blocks to rest your hands on. So as we draw those shoulders back and down, root down through our feet, we're just going to hinge from the hips. I'm going to take my hands down my leg. There's a little bit of support. Stay long through your spine. And then we're going to bring the hands down underneath the shoulders. Let the head feel heavy, just as it does in our downward facing dog. So if the floor seems a terribly long way, then obviously we can use a block. Shoe boxes are terribly good for this as well. And this just lifts the floor to us so that we're not struggling. Just staying in this forward fold for a breath or two. Be aware of that weight in your toes and your heels, trying to keep it even as you root down through your feet and feel length through the back of your legs here. When you are ready, we are going to take our hands towards the floor, if we can, scoot that over there, and walk our way to the back of the mat. So my left foot is at the back of the mat, and I'm going to walk that foot to the outside edge and drop the right knee behind me. Do you know what? I'm going to use my block again. I'm going to bring my block in front of me, lift the floor up a little bit here, so that my chest feels quite open and relaxed, my shoulders are relaxed. Sometimes if you try and reach too far, you bring some tension and strain into the body, and we're trying to get rid of that. So this is a posture called lizard pose or dragon pose. And we're working on a little bit of a stretch on the left hip here, the inside, maybe the groin as well. Now, if you can see, I'm going to come onto the outside edge of that left foot and just let that knee fall to the side. Let me just whiz myself around. I'm not sure what the vision is like, and I need you to have a look and see what I'm doing. So the foot is flat to the floor, and I'm just going to let it fall out to the side whilst keeping control on my center. So I'm not sort of throwing my weight down here. Just allowing that to fall out to the side to increase the stretch here. Gosh, I hope I haven't come out of vision there as well. Camera skills, not great. Okay, so if that feels uncomfy, keep the foot flat on the floor, stay lifted. And all we are going to do from this position, and I'm going to bring my block with me, is drop the knee to the floor. Walk ourselves around to the other side. Bring my block in front of me, take my right foot to the outer edge of the mat, resting the hands on the block, leveling the hips, squaring the shoulders, staying lifted, and then just letting that right knee drop to the side a little bit here. And again, if that doesn't feel right, you can even actually just come up, maybe just resting the hands on the leg instead. We don't have to come into this forward fold position. Excellent. Okay. Take the block back, step the right foot behind you. Touch your toes together and walk your knees to the outer edges of the mat. Just bring your bottom down towards your heels, resting your forearms to the floor, and just let your head relax down. Just staying here for a few breaths before bringing yourself back into seated. Now, if you need to sit on a block or a cushion, please feel free to do so. I think I'm going to return myself to my block here. As you can see, I'm not moving terribly well, so I have to be very, very mindful with my movements and try not to just fling my body around. And that is the joyful thing about yoga. You can tailor it to how you are feeling on any particular day. You might be more energetic, so you can add some more energizing movements. You might feel that you need a little bit more R&R, so you can really rein it in and maybe even do an entire practice lying down on your mat. Whatever works for you in that moment, and then yoga is there for you. So coming back to our cross-legged position or any other comfortable position that you want to sit in, we're going to bring the arms up towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to take our right hand towards our left knee and just drop that left hand either beside or behind us. Shrug the shoulders, find that length through the neck and the spine. And as you exhale, just visualize all these muscles around your center, drawing you towards the left-hand side. You don't have to use your hand on your knee as leverage. If that feels okay for you, then please do. But otherwise, visualize all these muscles doing the work for you. As you're rooted down through your sit bones, finding length through the spine. And as we inhale, so we come back to center, we lift the arms. And as we exhale, so we drop the left hand towards the right knee. The same thing, we shrug the shoulders. We find the position that we start in. We take a breath in. And visualize all those little muscles drawing you round towards the right hand side. The neck and the head being the last thing to turn. Inhale, come back to center. Lift the arms up. Touch the palms together. And draw your hands down towards your heart. Drop those shoulders, maybe even giving them a little shrug, a little wriggle here. And there we have a little bit of mobilization, flexibility, bit of strength, bit of movement to start your day. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Please do share it with anyone that you think may find it useful. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. Or drop me a like or a comment and let me know if there's anything that you would like me to focus on in future videos. Thank you very much once again. See you soon.